I'll just get Facebook on board, David.
Okay, mate.
I don't know if we're live yet on YouTube or no.
It's usually a solid minute behind.
Well, that's us got Facebook on board as well now.
Right. Okay. I'll just.
So quite busy in the chat, and I'm just waiting on Alison Roxburgh from Leith sending me a second email with the information we need, David.
Okay. There we go. That's us live on the YouTube now. So we'll get started straight away as one.
Let's see if there's any Facebookers on first, David. As I roll down the comments quick as hell. Yep, Melanie McCann's in. Margaret's in. Lorna. Laurie Camperman is in on Facebook. So let's get underway. So, David, that was quite a stunning poll. They were talking about in the National that about half the voters think the polling card's enough to be able to vote.
Right. They've been told time and time again that they need a form of photographic ID in order to be able to vote.
Yeah, this poll was done yesterday or something like that, and 47% in that poll thought just taking a polling card along would be enough.
Aye.
That's pretty scary, David.
No, that's because people are just not politically engaged. If they were politically engaged, they would have heard the news. Oh, right, I need a photographic ID. Now, you remember last week there was the problem with possibly the proxy votes and also the postal votes, right? Certainly in terms of the proxy vote, my wife went up the day and voted no problem at all. She took her driving license with her. That gave them the photographic ID. Yep. And she didn't. My polling card hadn't arrived. Nothing had arrived by post. No. Right. So, but we were told very clearly, as long as you've got your photographic ID, you can go up and you go, hello there, I am, and there's my photographic ID. Yeah.
Yep. We'll get the ID in a wee minute. 7%. Yeah. This poll also reckons that 7% of the UK population will be wiped from being able to vote because they don't have the proper type of ID. So they're talking about 1 million people being disenfranchised here.
Well, you know who did it to you? It was the Tories, right? So and they did it. They did it in response to voter fraud when there was no voter fraud taking place, not any large voter fraud.
No, the only election fraud taking place was Tories overspending.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
So really, I've got to say that this one is down to the Tories. They're the ones that actually brought in the we had to have voter ID and all the rest of it, right? And I don't know. I really don't know what's going to be the outcome for the Tories, because I'm not so very sure that Labour are going to go whistling past the post.
Even though I gave my predictions on Max's thread the other night, David. I said 400 Labour, 150 Tory, about 50 Lib Dems, SNP 30, 40, 37. So that's my predictions.
I definitely see Labour coining in some seats in Scotland, definitely. Aye. But in terms of in England, your English voter is a Tory. and also we've had the situation where We've seen what's happened with the Asians that are, by and large, the Labour voters, and you've seen all the protests over Gaza and the West Bank, and a lot of these Asian voters will be looking at that and going, "Hang on a second, Labour wanted this lot, they were backing the Israeli government and what they were doing, all the rest of it, right?" And then we had the Labour files getting released. That was absolutely an amazing bit of journalistic work done by Al Jazeera, right?
Yep.
And you're going to tell me that Labour are going to go flying past the post
Yes.
when a large part of your English vote is down to for Labour is down to Asians, and the English vote, the white English voter, are Tories. Nah, don't see it. I'll be prepared to eat my words. Fine, don't worry, but I just don't see it.
See,
I
that's
can see, I can see the Tories being ever so close if they
I
don't
don't
do
see
it.
it myself, David. I wish it was true, but I don't see it myself.
Yeah.
And a new poll out yesterday put the SNP in front of Labour here by 4 points. By 3 points.
But as you
And
yourself said, that only
thank you very much, Eddie.
equates. That only equates. Thanks, mate. That only equates to 24 SNP seats.
Yes,
And if it equates to 24 SNP seats,
it's not enough.
that's not
The
enough.
Unionists, including the Tories and the Lib Dems, would have more seats than us.
Yeah,
And we have to have a majority of seats to go forward.
yeah,
And as we know, 29 is the Scottish majority because we only have 57
yeah.
MPs. So to have a UK-wide majority, a party needs how many seats, David?
326.
Aye.
That's the one over the halfway mark.
Halfway, aye.
Yeah, there's 650, which would be 325.
Yep.
Therefore, we need 326 for a majority. So, and we're talking, this is for the UK government, this is for the keys to number 10, right? Whereas the Scottish bit is 57, is the total amount of seats in the Scottish cohort. If we're talking about what would take a majority on that, what is that? That's
29.
29. Yeah.
Apparently, Swinney got challenged that not all SNP voters want independence. Actually, that's not true. It's line 1, page 1 of the manifesto, so people know what they're fucking voting for.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. John would be right to say, well, no, every Labour voter wants the union, because they don't. We know a percentage of Labour voters want independence. We know 40% of them want independence. Problem is that 40% keeps voting for a party that doesn't want it. You know? So, as I say, it's all over by the shouting now, David.
Hang on, Neil's put up an interesting comment there. It's a shame that the SNP can't stand MPs in England. There is no party political reason why they can't, right? But obviously, because they are the Scottish National Party, then it would be bloody daft when you think about it. But
Thanks, Alistair.
to be honest with you, looking at it this time around, I'm starting to think to myself, it might have been a good idea if they'd stood a few MPs in England. They might have got through a few extra seats.
Well, you know, David, that the SNP say England's no their business.
I know, appreciate that. But you know something? The way I look at it is that if I can get Scottish independence by any means, by hook or by crook, I'll blooming do it. You know.
Hold on. We've got a big one here, £300. Jesus.
Oh, blooming heck, Duncan. Jings Crivens help my Bob.
Jesus.
Good Gordon Highlanders.
That's a week's wages to some people, Duncan.
Exactly.
Good afternoon, guys. Decided to pay my bet today as the Scottish Greens are not going to win a seat in today's election. Then I thought I would put a bit extra to help out the people in need. Duncan, your deposits just taken your generosity for the audience to over £1,000 this month. At this point in time, we're waiting on receiving £754 from Google. You just take that up to over £1,000, mate.
Yeah.
Wow.
It depends on the cut-off date that Google put in place.
Aye, well, it's still up there, the new David, so I guess it's not the cut-off date yet.
Yeah. So.
Aye, and there's another one in. SMP for me. Thank you very much for your kind donation, Lorraine.
Thank you.
Now, as I say, we need 29. I reckon we'll get to 29. You know?
I'm not sure. The amount of people I've heard stupidly saying, "Oh, I'm going to vote Labour to," I correct them. Don't get me wrong. I do correct them, but the amount of people I've heard stupidly saying that I'm going to vote Labour to get rid of the Tories.
Reading stories in the National the day, David, where they're talking to people on the south side, and they say, "Oh, we want independence, but no right now because of the mess we're in." So a mess created in Westminster, they expect it to be cured in fucking Westminster. If now is not the time, when is the time?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people
the
are
people of
starving.
No, but the people of Scotland, if taking it, I don't think it's going to happen for us in any way, shape, or form this time. Excuse me while I blow my nose over that. I feel that the people of Scotland, if the people of Scotland are not going to make it happen this time, it's not going to happen. And then all they've got to do is look forward to what the man at number 10, whoever that man may be, is going to bring down the tubes. Yeah.
Well, one thing's for sure, we know that Starmer, once he's in, he's going to be a fucking disaster. People are already taking bets on how long he'll be able to hold the office. You know?
Yeah, but the thing about it is that, let's look at the real politic here, right? If Starmer gets in, he's going to get in with it's going to be the double Nelson, you know what I mean? Him getting in. He's going to have such an economic bad time that he's not going to be able to do anything with the economy.
No, you and I have been talking about this.
And that means that your white Tory voter is going to go, "Come on, chaps, well, let's get them out of power," right? And it's going to happen. And then who do you think will get back in? Do you think it'll be Lib Dems this time? No, it'll be the Tories again.
But now, as I say, I think Labour will take a majority. How big it will be, I don't think it'll be our 400. Let's put it that way, David.
I don't see it. Sorry. At the end of the day, it's like that's just my opinion. And my opinion at this moment in time is from having lived in England. And we all think of your Tory voter in England as being your well-off toff. No, it isn't. I lived in a place called Yarm, which was your spam broker, your stockbroker bill, right? But the places round about that was Stockton, Middlesbrough, Billingham. These were all, we'd look at them, we'd go, "Oh, they're definitely Labour, they're red areas and all the rest of it," right? And no, they were Tory. In fact, my own father-in-law was a power station worker, a coal-fired power station worker, and he was Tory through and through. His wife loved Maggie. They both loved Maggie Thatcher,
But as you know, the English are a right of centre people.
Yeah, well, it hasn't changed, David. It hasn't changed. No, but the thing is, though, it's like the only reason that Blair did it was because Blair looked and sounded like a Tory.
So does Starmer.
No, he doesn't. Starmer is nothing He's nothing compared to Tony Blair when it comes to looking like and sounding like a Tory. Starmer's nothing like that.
Starmer's moved the party into Tory territory.
I know he has. Yes, I
No,
know he has.
even
But Tony Blair didn't do that before the actual election. He waited until the election was over and done with, and then he shoved it all across.
to the centre.
Right?
That's right. Starmer took it.
But Starmer's done it beforehand, knowing he doesn't have the kudos that Tony Blair had.
See,
yes,
as far as I'm concerned, he looks like a Tory, he walks like a Tory, and he talks like a Tory, Starmer. As far as I'm concerned.
But the rest of his crew don't. Yeah. So we've seen what happens. Front bench on Labour. If you look at it, David Lammy, right? He's Mr. LBC. He's a blooming radio DJ. Okay, it might be a talk show he's got, but still, no, he's a radio DJ, right? Masquerading as an MP. And you look at a lot of them, they're doing different jobs that have nothing to do with being an MP.
See, the only socialist I can see in that front bench is Angela Rayner.
Yeah. But even at that, Angela Rayner, still in all, when you saw her at the leaders' conference, she was more to do with Penny Mordaunt and giving her a good handshake at the end of the day. Eh? Did you see that? The leaders blooming debate where Penny Mordaunt was stood next to Angela.
Pals.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking to Angus on this programme, his best pal down there's a Tory.
Yeah, I know. Appreciate that.
And his other best pal down there's Alistair, what do I call him? Alistair Campbell.
Yeah.
So they're all friends. Right, now, let's throw in a curveball here. Do you think Biden's about to drop out the presidential race?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
You think so?
The right away, it's like you've got Biden getting up on his back. Oh, no way! I'm taking it right to the line. Trump's for a hide and all the rest of it, right? But see, after the last meeting between Trump and Biden, where they went head to head, after that, you had a lot of the people, the Democrats saying, "Oh, he did it, no, but oh, he won, no problem," and the rest of it. See, in the background, they're all going, "Oh, shite, that was dreadful." And they know if it gets too far along the road, they'll not be able to change the leader.
No,
so therefore, they've got to get on and get it done quickly.
I think we're going to get ready on the 10th of this month.
Yeah, and it's like Biden has got to go. If the Democrats wish to take out Trump, they've got to get rid of Biden. Simple as that.
Aye.
And it's pointless.
Karen Facebook says she fancies Kamala. Can you step up?
Kamala Harris is as bad as Biden.
Well, at least she's got all her marbles about her.
Aye, but at the same time, it's like she's as bad as Biden when it comes to all these different points, these policies that have been brought through. The reason being is it's because Biden didn't bring them through. It was the rest of the party that brought them through.
What I'm going to say is the Democratic Party is not going to change its offer to the people no matter who they put up front. The question is, do you think Biden will be gone by the 10th when they go to make a decision on whether it stands or not? Right.
Well,
it's up to the Americans. It's up to the Americans.
That's my opinion, but I don't think Labour are going to get such an easy ride as they thought they were. And I think that it's possible that all your polling companies, your poller polls and all the rest of it, have all got it dreadfully wrong.
Well,
and I'm hoping that that's the case regarding SNP, that the polling companies have got it wrong.
We'll find out what the result is tomorrow morning, and then we'll make decisions on how we go forward from there.
Yeah, I know.
Right, now, so Biden should be gone by the 10th, and somebody else should be in his place, but we'll leave that to American people.
Yeah.
I see Ginger and half suggesting Bernie Sanders.
Oh, Bernie Sanders. Biden. But he's a socialist.
Aye, they're never going to vote for him.
Yeah, he'll never, ever, ever get voted into the White House.
Right,
Even
Richard.
though we can look at the common sense of the man.
Aye.
You know, the people in by and large in America think that the NHS is communism. Well, I've just been watching a program that was #1 on American TV, and that was called New Amsterdam, and it was about a not-for-profit hospital in New York. It's okay. It's acting. It's just a story. That's all it is. But it's brilliant, and it's all about it's the NHS. It's not the NHS, but it is the NHS. And they've got this guy that's the chief exec going about and what we need to do is we need to balance up black people with white people in terms of wages, because the doctors, the episode I'm doing at the moment is the white doctors earn 30% more than the black doctors, right? And then the women are trumping up and going, well, hang on a second, I'm a female and I'm getting 30% less than the black ones. You know. So at the end of the day, it's like, yes, there is many twists and turns on the story, but still in all, if you look at that, that was a #1 hit piece of TV called New Amsterdam, and it was about almost an NHS hospital.
Watch telly, David, so this is right above my head.
You haven't seen it. That's fair enough. The Americans have seen it, and they kept watching it. Even though the Americans, by and large, will look at the NHS and go, "Oh, that's communism. We can't have communism."
No matter what you show them on their own programmes and on their own TV, they're still not going to vote for it.
Okay.
Anyway, back to Earth, please. Professor Richard Murphy writes in the National today that he's scared of Starmer.
Henry, why are you going onto Facebook? Why the hell are you going onto Facebook for two Davies? We've been trying to wean people, please, across onto YouTube.
Anywhere, if they want to watch on Facebook, they can.
Fine. I mean, it's just we end up with that many problems with the blooming Facebook.
I don't have any problems with it now, David. They've allowed me to put it public, but I have to make it public myself.
Donny is making all kinds of deals with the Saudis. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, I wonder how he's managed that when he's not in office.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the news here in Scotland. Professor Murphy says he's frightened of a Starmer government. He's frightened because he's not a Democrat, and that's the thing that scares him. Now, he's writing international, and he's not just talking about the denial of Scottish democracy, which he does write about in the National. He also talks about how Starmer's turned his back on another Labour pledge, and that was to introduce proportional representation.
Yeah.
And now his conference has voted for proportional representation, and he's just going to rubber it. Yeah. But as you know, David, if he wins a big majority, he's not changing the voting system.
Of course not. Of course not. But here's the thing. Yet again, I'll return you back to the argument about the economy. The Tories have buggered the economy well and truly.
It's been going downhill for 30 years, David. You and I know that.
No, but you have to understand, to get it to this point and then hand it over and go, hey, yeah, there's your hot potato. You take it, right? And it's like the Labour are not going to be able to run a full term out of this. They're going to be stuck in a situation whereby it's possible that they could end up in a vote of no confidence before 1 or 2 years has gone by.
Well, anyway, we have majority. It depends on how big his majority is. But Professor Murphy also tells us all, the same as the OBR tells us, the same as the Institute for Fiscal Study, the Institute for Government, the Institute of Fiscal Studies have all told us that Labour will usher in austerity 3.0. And we're looking at another at least 5 years of the same public services cuts.
You'll have no choice in that. You know what I mean? It's like they can do and say what they like at this stage, but they will have no choice. but to cut things and all the rest of it, and cut spending on the local authorities and all the rest of it, right?
Now, David, you and I know for every pound you spend in public services, you reap back 4.
I know that.
So
It's the
investing in the
old,
public
it's
sector is a good
right,
idea.
right, guys.
Schools are saying it.
Yeah, this is economics 101, right? In the House of Commons. What they do is if the government want a new road between point A and point B, they go to the Treasury, say, Treasury, give money, right? Treasury goes out and borrows or whatever to gain money, gives money to government build road. Then what happens is the Chancellor then goes out with his little red briefcase and he says, right, now we're going to tax the hell out of you to pay you back for that money that we've taken off the Treasury. That's the way it works. It works that way around. It doesn't work the other way around. It doesn't
That's
work.
what it was last time Labour was in.
Yeah, it doesn't work the other way around, whereby the government wait until they've got the receipts for the taxes in before they spend the money. No, they do it the other way around. They take
That
the
was what
money off
Labour
the
did last time, David. Rather than put it onto the public ledger, they went down the PFI route, and it's believed that
Oh no, that's
a
the
Rachel
Labour
Reeves is going to do the
PFI.
same again.
No, that was a Labour private funding initiative.
Yeah.
That was the Labour way in Scotland, right? It happened in England as well, but mostly in Scotland when you had the new devolved government taking place, and they went out to get loads of extra funding for building, I don't know, schools and whatever, right? Didn't work
Anyway,
for them.
Rachel Reeves has been cutting deals with hedge funds. She's going to do PFI again. That's how she's going to go about funding their policies because, as you know,
If
she's
that's the
taking
way, if
tax.
that's the only way that they think they can do it, then at the end of the day, we know fine well it doesn't work, and it just leaves the people with a bill to pay in the future.
Well, that's what they're going to do, David.
Yeah.
Rachel Reeves has been cutting deals with hedge funds.
No, you're assuming that that's what it's going
No,
to do.
it was in the news,
No,
David.
no.
It's all been reported
The
in the
mere
news.
fact that somebody wrote it, David, doesn't necessarily make it so.
The
You
meetings
know
were,
that,
some of the meetings were actually televised, David. Some of them were televised, some of your meetings with City.
right?
Um,
Was Starmer saying that?
Starmer's not going to be the Chancellor.
Hang on. Was Starmer saying that?
Well, he hasn't told you. Look, they haven't told us they're going to raise the funds they need.
Correct. Absolutely. So, what I would say is, wait until you hear Mr. Starmer speaking from Number 10, and then you'll know what they're going to do. At the moment, saying that they're going to do a PFI deal, right?
No, they're not telling us they're going to do it, David.
I know that. I appreciate that.
Hey.
I honestly don't think that they'll get away with PFI stroke 2, Mark 2. Because I think that by then, some of the newspapers will have woken up, certainly if it was the people of England, if it was in England, right? Some of the English papers will have woken up and went, no, you tried that before. You're not getting away with it again. And that then will lead to the vote of no confidence. There you go.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Now, David, this is a hot potato, this one. And it's been going on for years. Every time one of these elections come round. Is it worthwhile the Scottish people voting in a Westminster election? Taking into the fact that it doesn't matter how Scotland votes, England will decide what sort of government we get. So
right, I'm going to get fucking angry here, right? For people to vote in a Westminster election for it to be worth it, our own Scottish SNP MPs would have had to have kept their fingers out of the blooming amendment jar and allow Humza Yousaf to get his plebiscite election through the door so that we get the maximum number of MPs, SNP MPs, that leads directly to independence.
I know.
And that was the only way. That was the only way that was going to be worth people in Scotland voting in a Westminster election, right? Okay, still worth it is blooming voting because it still gives us a large number. It still gives us a large number of MPs in order to argue our case, right?
To argue our case, but as I say, it's a constant debate every time one of these comes round because of the democratic deficit. And Neil says, notice that there's no numbers of people watching now. That's on Facebook, Neil. There's 228 people watching live right now between the two platforms.
Yeah.
Which is no bad for a YouTube station. Right. As I say, as we know, the democratic deficit for our brothers in England who wouldn't understand this, our brothers and sisters in England. It doesn't matter how Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland votes. The people of England decide what sort of government we get. So the argument when it comes to these ones, should the Scottish population not just abstain?
And that's why I still believe that Labour are not going to get this quite as easy as they thought. Because, still in all, your white Christian Tory will still be going, oh, come on, chaps.
What are we trying to explain to Melanie how this works? There's only 34 people watching us on Facebook, apparently. So the other 190 are watching us on YouTube. Okay. Because I get the combined figures, I get to see both how much is. I don't know how many is on both platforms or how many individuals are on each platform. If you tell me there's 34 watching Facebook, that's the best information I have because I get it as a combined amount of people.
Yeah.
So
anyway, that doesn't matter, does it? That doesn't matter because our viewing numbers are our viewing numbers.
Yes.
And also we've been told by YouTube that we are live on 112 countries worldwide via YouTube.
Oh, that's if 112 countries worldwide want to look in.
At
this point in time in the chat, I can only see a couple of people, one person from America and one person from Germany. I'm not sure whether Ali's on, he's in France. So, but what we do know is that we're getting 20,000 hits on the channel a month.
Yeah.
And we have 1,800 return viewers per month.
Yeah.
Because it tells us that in the analytics.
How many subscribers have we got, David? You'll know this.
1,892 last time I looked.
Right. So what I would say is there's an awful lot of people that visit our channel that don't subscribe to it.
That's the same for everybody's channel, but David.
Yeah. But it would be rather nice if more people did subscribe to this channel because we are a channel that gains money for
advertising.
Gains money for food banks through advertising. And
but only for well, live streams, we don't make any money until to view backs,
Yeah.
It's super chats, which are the majority of the money we get for food banks, and for that we're very grateful. Right, electricity and gas prices fall by 7%, apparently. As the cap's just been changed at the beginning of the month there, David. And they now reckon the average dual fuel cost to a UK home is 1,568.
Who's saying this?
Ofgem.
Ofgem. Ofgem effectively took all the competition out of the electricity and gas market by making all these little firms go and bust. So that's the Ofgem we're on about, isn't it? Yeah. Well, as far as that's concerned, I fucking heard it, and I don't believe it. All right.
I'm just telling you what the news says.
Oh yeah. The news can say what it likes.
Anyway, gas now. This is a fact.
Yeah, if it's been broadcast, if it's been put out there by Ofgem, I don't believe it. The same as we're going to bring in the situation about the Bank of England holding interest rates where they are because they're saying that the inflation rate hasn't gone down far enough, right? Inflation's up where it was. They're lying to you. Understand that. They're lying to you. Same as
Well, anyway,
Ofgem are lying to you.
the latest price cap reduces gas prices to 5.48 pence per kilowatt hour, and it reduces electricity prices to 22.36 pence per kilowatt hour.
Right? Can you
And
explain to
according
me?
to Ofgem,
Can you explain to me how the price cap alters any of my electricity or gas prices?
I've just said
It doesn't.
the,
It
the, the,
doesn't.
the cost per kilowatt hour's come down.
But it's all down to the individual's use.
Yes.
Right. So therefore that cap means nothing, David. Right? The
Your
thing that
electricity
put
prices
up our
are
electricity, the thing that put up the electricity was us leaving Brexit, was Brexit happening, and us leaving Euphemia, which was
We know about Euphemia, David. I'm trying to do a report on electricity prices here and gas prices.
which is
Now,
all about
according to Ofgem,
electricity. And the Ofgem are trying to say to us that the electricity price is now going down. Has it? Hell, it
well,
has
according to
not.
this, it is. And although they are still, according to Ofgem, prices are still 50% higher than what they were in 2022. Okay. So
Right.
apparently electricity is getting cheaper, but what Ofwat did say in the report, Ofgem did say in the report was, come the winter, that'll reverse again.
Yeah.
You know, so it would appear we were using less electricity in the summer, the prices coming down. We were using more in the winter, prices going up. Okay. Now, see, Ofgem
So
says,
in other words, quite rightly, you're saying you're being lied to.
no, I'm not saying that at all.
Well, I'm saying that. I'm
Well, that's
saying
fine.
that. Yeah. I'm
just
quite
getting
simply
people,
saying
I'm
that.
just getting people the
Because
latest.
I've actually seen the figures to where I'm sick to my back teeth. I've got a bit of fucking wood stuck to the top of my blooming electricity cupboard out there because my electricity company was supposed to come and put a check meter in place. They haven't done it. Why haven't they done it? They haven't done it because they're scared to, because of what my electricity bill will
Yeah, but
actually
this
come
isn't
out at.
about you. This is about what Ofgem's telling the public, releasing the
No,
1st of
David,
July. The
David,
caps went down by 7%.
you're being lied
I'm not being
to.
lied to.
Yes, you are.
I'm
Yes,
no, I
you are.
see my bills coming down.
Yes, you are. You're still being lied to.
I'm still seeing my
You're going to
bills.
say you aren't. Are you actually going to say to me you are not being lied to, and they're all honourable people?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just giving you the figures that Ofwat put out. Sorry, Ofgem put out.
Right.
And according to Ofgem, they've reduced the cap by 7%.
And the next item is
Bank of England to hold interest rates at 2.25%.
and the Bank of England board are all honourable people who would make us think that inflation is on its way down. It's
It is.
halved. Rishi Sunak's halved it. He's halved it and all the rest of it. How the hell? I still see it's not me that goes to the shop now to get food. It's Leslie, and I see what comes in with the bill. Bloody hell, man! It's still up there.
Prices are still rising, David, in the supermarkets. I mean, I could put up and tell you where it is per item if you want. You know, there's a 6-page thing there.
Okay, so at the end of the day, anybody that's saying that inflation's coming down is lying to
No, they're
you.
not. No, they're not. The figures are right. If inflation is down.
And what's the basket of items that they're actually putting in? Come
No,
on,
they're not get it all.
sorry.
No, we'll get it all.
Vinyl records. There you go. There's something.
Yeah.
Hey, one of the basket items. You think it would be carrots or minced beef or whatever? No, it's blooming vinyl records. There you are. There's one. Come on, David. We know fine well inflation is whatever they say it is, right? And inflation at this moment in time is down to the basket of items that are actually taken to give you the inflation figures. And they're giving it any way they like. They're lying to you. And I'm telling you, they're
Well,
lying to you.
food price inflation depending on what you're buying. is still quite high. Like olive oil, food price inflation on olive oil is 39.1%. Coca-Cola and powdered
and
chocolate,
and
19.5%.
what about quantities? What about quantities? We've all seen that. We've all seen that. We go for example, a bar of chocolate, for example, right? And one month it's 16 squares in one of these big bars. All of a sudden it's down to 12 squares, right? Come on. We've seen it where you buy one item and it's multiples, and then all of a sudden you're getting 3 or 2 or whatever, right? It's coming down. The numbers are coming down. You're paying the same.
No, you're paying more, actually.
The quantity's coming down. All right.
The prices are going up a wee bit slower, that's all.
Yeah, Lorraine, yet again, you're saying the inflation's come down for you, but that means that just depends on what it is that you buy. We all buy different things, so therefore inflation's
affects us all differently. The underlying rate the RPI is still 4.7%. So it depends on what basket you're looking at. Anyways, if you want to know what's in the basket, we've got an air fryer, we've got vinyl music, we've got rice cakes, we've got gluten-free bread and spray oil. There's some of the items in it, which are absolutely mental.
Fun size smart. Mark Telfer says, fun size Mars bars are not as fun anymore.
No, I don't know. There's any point kidding on about inflation.
But guys, do you not see it? If you look at it, the Bank of England, you look at Ofgem, the electricity, gas prices, all the rest of it, you're being lied to, big style, and it's in their favour for lying to you in that way, right? The longer they can keep the lies going past you at a rate of knots, the better it is for all the ones at the top of the chain. You're at the bottom of the chain, they're at the top of the chain, they have to win and you have to lose. End of.
Well, as I say, the Bank of England says it won't be shifting interest rates anytime soon, so until it's sure that inflation is stabilised and prices have stabilised the same. All right.
And we both worked out in the past that the Bank of England was keeping the bank rates high, artificially high, because it had an effect on what?
Mortgage prices. Borrowing.
And who are the people that borrow the least compared to the chunk house they've got?
Obviously, the rich borrow the least. They don't need it.
Correct. Absolutely right. So therefore, the rich,
people that win out interest, David, is
the poor get poorer. Enough. It's as simple as that, and it always has been as simple as that.
It's been like that since 70 years.
I don't know what you're getting angry about, David, because this is stuff that you agreed with me on in the past, and I agreed with you on in the past.
I am not disagreeing with you at all, David. I'm only reading out reports.
Never mind reading my reports. I'm calling them a bunch of liars.
You can call them a bunch of liars all you want. It's no one doing people on the street any good that we're talking to.
I know, but at the same time, it's good.
What I'm doing is a mortgage.
It's good that people don't. It's good that people don't get pushed into a false sense of security, because they've still got to realise the liars are still the liars.
All I'm trying to tell the people is their mortgage rate's not going down anytime soon. Sorry, folks, near a weef. The bank isn't looking like dropping interest rates, and that's killing the economy. It's taking disposable income out of people's pockets. Yeah. Therefore, the economy, no matter what fucking Starmer says, growth is not in this economy.
Yeah,
the bank is actually killing growth.
If you look at, looking at the wee houses we're about here, right? They're around about 150,000 up in the top end of the scheme here, faithfully, and you'll find about 180 to 200 further down the road, right?
Aye.
And these people that have got a mortgage on their wee button ben, their wee house, they're now paying through the odds. because of the bank rate that's going up and up and up.
That's what I'm telling. That's what I'm telling people. Banks
Yeah.
not bringing it down anytime soon. So don't expect any relief anytime soon.
It's a good one, Gordon. Is Mr. Milligan on the argument pills? Yes, I definitely am.
Oh, he's definitely
It
drunk
is,
today because he's on new medication and
it is polling day. It is polling day, and you're going to end up with the same shite blooming government as you had last time, right?
It's polling day. Everybody's trooping into the box, and come tomorrow morning, you'll have the same shite coming out of number 10 as you had last week. Simple as that.
John, he's saying, John's saying, stop arguing and get on with the show, please. John, this is the one time where David and I get a chance to really, really argue, because we've listened to all this shite. Some of it I believe, some of it David believes, right? But we still got to be able to argue it out. And you guys, if you want to, listen to it and join in, and we'll pull out your comments, you know. So we both agree that we're going to devote a chunk of today just to your comments, right?
Olive oil.
Bucket, good one. Petrodollar finished. Yes, it is.
Bottle of olive oil in Aldi's is £6. Oof.
Is that right? Ouch.
That's that. I'll tell you what. I shop in Lidl's, and it's definitely that in Lidl's.
I thought olive oil was a character out of Blown Popeye. But anyway, that's it.
That is a so no relief for mortgage holders, just the way it is. No relief for anybody who's got borrowings. The bank's no point. Shall we move on? Spain joins South Africa's deputation to the International Criminal Court over genocide in Gaza.
Yeah.
We know that Ireland and Denmark are about to make submissions as well.
We also know that Spain had already gone that direction, but they've now made it official, right?
Yes, and Spain was one of the first European countries to ban arms sales to Israel. As we know, David, the fighting's intensifying in Gaza. The people have been told to get their asses out of southern Gaza as it goes on. The UN still telling us that people are starving to death. And
the latest figure that was on Al Jazeera that I saw just before doing the preparation for the show was that in Al Jazeera they reckon that 19,500 Palestinians have been locked up by the Israelis since the 7th of October.
And it's just released the director of Al Shifa Hospital. They've been holding him for 7 months.
Yeah, no. Don't forget, West Bank. These people didn't have really anything to do with the 7th of October thing. Wasn't anything to do with them. It was Hamas that were to do with Gaza that caused that, supposedly, according to the Israelis. So why are they taking people out of West Bank? Well, you know why, don't you? You've been watching the news, same as I have.
Hey, just some instructions for the job tonight. So no relief in Gaza.
Thank you, Peter. Peter says, I just want away from work and votes on the way home. I said I would spoil my ballot, but I ended up voting SNP. But this really is the last chance. Okay, Peter. Yep, okay. Get that. But all we can do is hope that they end up with the votes that give them the seats.
Yes, Evelyn, we're aware of this. I think we spoke about this last time. The UK government sent a petition to ICC to challenge the arrest warrants for Netanyahu and Gallant. We know.
Yeah, but can we just clear that up a bit? ICC, International Criminal Court. Yes. ICJ, International Court of Justice.
Yes.
International Court of Justice is The Hague. It's The Hague, right? That's the biggie. That's the one. The Hague is where the Nazis, the German Nazis, were tried after the Second World War, right? That's the biggie. The ICC is a smaller setup of international court, right? And there's been some criticism pushed towards the ICC. So when somebody says ICCJ, it's confusing. So try and be particular in what you're saying. Is it ICC or is it ICJ?
Well, anyway, the other three, Hamas faces growing public dissent in Gaza, apparently. And I don't know whether that's true or no.
Well,
The
you've got to look,
thing
well,
of,
you've got to look at it from the point of view of who is it that set up Hamas? Is it Hamas, or was it the Israelis looking for a way to get rid of the Palestinian Liberation Organization?
it was the Israelis looking for a way to get rid of the PLO.
Yeah. So therefore, that's why the Israelis actually bankrolled the Hamas. And that's why I look back at the 7th of October and I think to myself, who was actually pressing the buttons there? Was it Israelis or was it Palestinians? I would say there's a good chance that was all down to the Israelis. Yeah?
Could be, but I can't speculate on that, David.
I know you can. I know you can, David. And I appreciate that you're just trying to be fair and all the rest of it, right? But
I'm not trying to be fair to the Israelis.
I mean, Gregor McIntosh says Israel never set up Hamas. It's not true. Well, yes, they did, and we've seen it in writing and as an explanation by some fairly heavyweight commentators in the past wee while. Israel did set up Hamas. Yes, they did. And they were looking for just like Alex Salmond set up the Alba to allow Labour and Tory to come right through the middle and knock out the SNP. The Netanyahu and whoever were trying to do exactly the same with Hamas. And it was Netanyahu that asked for the money to put behind Hamas. How's about that? Eh?
Well, I'm no good, as I say. Neil, you're right. It was the Nuremberg trials, but that's what led to the setting up of the ICJ and basically the UN and everything else that's come since.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's
the idea that they did is stupid. Gregor, for goodness sake, I won't bill your head, son. Go and look it up. Go and look up what Netanyahu did to actually set up Hamas. All right, there you go.
As I say, David, people know how to use a search engine.
Well, just for a start, it's not an RFC sign I'm seeing against Gregor McIntosh.
What difference does it make?
Well, it does make some considerable difference.
It doesn't make any difference. I mean, the amount of Rangers supporters are pro-independence supporters and all.
No, but but hang on, let's get it right. The number of Rangers supporters that came out in support of Israel. Yes.
So I'm not, as I say, I don't pay that much attention to it. Moving out of Ukraine, Russia's taking ground. Zelensky's no pleased with Orban, who's just visited Kiev.
Cameron says that's a shocking statement on Alex Salmond and Alba. Very disappointing. Indies should be unite, not fight. Neil, away and boil your fucking head, man.
Listen, David, you're going to get a grip of Dave. If people want to,
I tell you what.
Want to set up political parties, they can, but you're right on the effect.
I tell you what, seriously, shut up a minute, right? I tell you what, Alba have been the same the whole way through. It's created a great big chasm to allow other parties to take the meat out of the SNP, right? And it's the amount of crap that I've seen written by members of Alba in support of Alex Salmond, Ian what's his name again? The guy that used to be the Justice Minister for the SNP, Ian McCaskill, right? It's like, what a load of crap, right? And Duncan, I am a Rangers supporter, and what Jinx, what we do?
I don't know, David, but you see me, I've riled up the crowd. I want to get back on track here.
That's fine. I'm okay. I can handle it. Look,
But I'm trying to get through
Broad,
what's going on in Ukraine.
broad. I'm quite happy with that. Right?
David, I'm trying to get on with what's going on in Ukraine. I start working very shortly.
Fine. You were not 5 minutes to go.
Advancing in Ukraine. Viktor Orban's in Kiev trying to broker a peace treaty. Zelensky's bottling it that Trump's coming to the fore, as we've already said, and apparently they're taking a pounding, they're running out of manpower, they're demoralised, and their conscription's not working. So, in short, Ukraine's in shite. So that's about it for the day, folks. Tomorrow we'll find out what direction.
Milligan, can you please stop being so aggressive? It's unpleasant. Lorraine, you didn't come on to that. You knew fine well. Polling day, political programme. You knew fine well this wasn't going to be, oh, David, I love you. David, I love you too. No way.
No way you arguing with the same. Anyway, as I say, that about rounds it up for the Ukraine. They're in the shit. They need peace. And they're not getting it until they agree to the Russian terms. They're not getting peace.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's the one I definitely can agree with. Is that the Russians are not going away, and the Russians, as we know from their history, what they'll do is they keep going until eventually somebody stops them. And the Ukrainians are not able to stop them unless they get a constant supply of heavy weaponry. And the weaponry that the Ukrainians are asking for is long-range missiles and like planes and all the rest of it, right? That's so that they can fire way, way deep into Russian territory. That's not going to stop a war. That's going to make the war become more bitter and last for longer.
Well, as I say, the Ukrainians are in trouble. They're running out of manpower. Who's staying up to 2, 3 a.m. or who's getting up at 2 or 3 a.m. to watch the results coming in? I'll not be up.
I'll be up.
I'll not be sitting up all night.
I'll be up because Desiree Brinker says I'm on a happy pills. Well, I take my happy pills just after 2 o'clock, so I'll definitely be up. I'll be like that.
Yep, I and Scott Bryan, we've seen it, but it's not the first time he said it, but this is a definite yesterday. He said no return to EU in his lifetime. He did. At this point in time, the people in England are going to vote for him anyway.
Yeah.
I'll get up. I'll get up when the wife goes to work. So when she gets up at 5 tomorrow morning, then I'll get up and have a look at how the land lies.
No, what I want to see tonight is I want to see how Nicola gets on. Nicola will be on the STV big table that they've got, and they'll have her there.
Be happy if she holds onto her seat.
The Nicola will just be Nicola's not an MP, David.
No, MSP. Sorry, you're right. Fucking, excuse me, I was in the comment there.
No, what's going to happen with Nicola is they're just going to use her as a whipping star. That's it.
Karen, you're going to be up all night watching it. You know, as I say, I'll get up at 5 when Sarah's getting up to go to work, and I'll watch for the other one, and we'll see how the land lies tomorrow.
Right. Anyway, that's it. Let battle commence. Any of you lot that haven't voted yet, get out and vote. I don't care what it is you vote, so long as you vote, so long as you take part in your democratic right. It's your democratic right to vote. Now get out and do it. All right?
John, I'll consider a shot tomorrow. Okay. As we see how the land lies.
Well, I'll just be back.
Folks, thanks again for your outrageously generous super chats.
Exactly. Wow.
Thinking that was nuts, man.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely nuts. And I say we'll get it out the door as soon as we get it off of YouTube. And as I say, we're already putting out 600 quid this month so far. And that's no bad considering we only switched the super chats back on a couple of weeks back, 4 weeks back, is it less than 4 weeks back, because when the first payment in.
Basically what the viewers have done is they've made up for the shortfall we had at that time.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're starting to get out the door again, folks. So that's good. And we'll, as I say, as it comes in for YouTube, we'll get it straight out the door. Okay. Right. David.
Right. Anyway, if you don't subscribe to us yet, you'll not want to subscribe to us now.
No, if you keep getting
Please
chased
subscribe to us because we are going to switch on monetization via the extra bit of advertising. That's providing we are still part of the indie movement. Because seriously, see if we do badly tomorrow, and it's looking like I'll need to take one good long look at my life and what it is I'm doing. I don't mind collecting in money for food banks. I think it's great. I really, really do. And well done to you lot. But see, as far as getting us independence, I'm starting to get sick of it. I really am, guys. I really am. So,
well, let's put it this way, David. Tomorrow will show whether we've been set, but I know you didn't watch what I put out yesterday.
I don't. I tend not to. I tend not to watch what either of us put out because I hate watching myself, and watching what you put out is too much like Indie Truck Davy in the
That's
past.
Andy Talk David when I put it out in the shop. That's what I do.
Right. Okay.
But let's say, folks, I need to go. That's 1 minute past 5. I start work in 29 minutes. So that just please subscribe, please hit the like, hit the share button. Tomorrow we'll find out whether the movement's been set back a decade or whether we move forward. And that will depend on how the vote goes today. Okay.
Thanks, Karen.
And then we'll have to decide how we're going to go forward, David, But we'll wait and see how the land lies tomorrow. Now, thanks for tuning in great numbers again today, folks, on both Facebook and YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. That just leaves one thing left to do, David.
Bye, Davey. Bye, guys.
Bye, David. Bye, folks.